Rasty McGibbon with Women's Division II Commissioner Taylor Hadley. Taylor, thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
Talk to me a little bit about the planning. You know, they talk about 78 teams playing over the course of 6 days, I think like 130 something games. Is that nerve-wracking or what?
It's a lot of hours of hockey. It's a lot of hours to prepare for and to help teams get ready for. I think coming into this event, especially being under one roof, there was a lot of different types of planning because before we're at different locations, so being in one building is almost a bigger task, I think. But yeah, I think planning the 2023 National Championships, a lot went into it, and being here, being present, the electricity of the building is, it's all worth it, so.
The feedback that you've gotten from your constituency in terms of being in the same building, whereas last year they kind of had to go off-site, you know, for the pool play.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's a positive thing they like this year?
Yeah, I think this is a really unique opportunity to showcase the women's games alongside the men's games. We had men's D1 playing, and the very next rink was women's D2, and we don't get to see that throughout the season very often. So really, really enjoyed the opportunity to showcase our division alongside what's always been kind of that top standing ACHA divisions. So yeah, really big stage for the women's D2 this year.
You have been in the capacity of commissioner for 5 to 6 years now, and you were in Columbus, you were in Dallas, you were in St. Louis, you're here. Tell me about some of the changes in terms of maybe the homogeneity in the competition that you've kind of seen in your tenure.
Yeah, it's been really interesting, and we were just talking, heading into the semifinals today here at the 2023 Nationals, we have the 4 seed in the final. They just won, upset a number 1 seed. I think that really showcases that the skill level, even for the different regions, how the rankings come out, you know, even the 1 seeds and the 4 seeds, it's a pretty tight race down to the end and who gets those slots. So thinking back to my early days as commissioner out in Columbus, we had a few more 10-0 games at our nationals, but here we're seeing, you know, really kind of close matchups over time. So I think that really speaks highly to the skill that's evolved over the years in our division, and, you know, highlights that the players that are coming into our teams are really top notch.
Another thing that's cool, you know, myself being a Division II guy, means that I'm someone that's familiar, you know, like with the pool play. Mm-hmm. Women's Division II, using that pool play format. I think it's so cool, and I'm curious if you agree, that on the morning of day 3 of pool play, those semifinal spots had not been filled yet. Is that awesome? It
was awesome. In the years that we've had prior at Nationals, by day 2, sometimes we look at it and it's like, yeah, this is pretty set, you know. But coming into day 3 of pool play at this national championship, I had coaches filling out their rosters and they're strategizing with me, trying to make sure they know what the tiebreakers are, so that going into the game, they know, do we pull our goalie? Do we have to get the points? Do we have to increase the goal differential? What's the strategy? So to have those conversations with coaches and see that on day 3, so many of the games were what-if scenarios and nobody knew what was going to happen yet is so exciting, and it really just adds to the, you know, excitement of the national championships.
One of the perspectives that I have always kind of envisioned as a commissioner, as you're kind of the host of a huge party, and one of the things that I think has been very neat this year is you've had some new teams come to the party this year that had never been here before. Yeah. You know, I think of Villanova, I think of Niagara. What do you think that does to kind of take the footprint of Women's Division II and spread it in other directions?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Central Michigan, I think, is one of the teams that had never had a national appearance at ACHA Women's C2, so really excited for them. Niagara.
And I apologize, I'm actually incorrect about Villanova because they were there last year.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Villanova's, you know, also a unique case. I mean, they came to nationals a couple years in a row and they've really been an underdog. They've been one of the lower seeded teams, kind of coming in, scraping by just to get here. Last year, you know, folks might remember they didn't have a goalie in situation. So for them to come back as a number 1 seed this year almost feels like a brand new team and like their first real chance at nationals. Right. So great, exciting story for them. You know, the Central Michigans and the other teams that have their first showing. Niagara, actually, it's a really cool case. They came into D2 this season, first nationals appearance, and they're moving up, making big plans to go to D1 next season. So the turnover for them, the growth, super exciting. So yeah, I think it means everything to these programs to have a first-time appearance at nationals. It puts them on the map, hoping that that'll help them recruit, grow their programs. So yeah, I love to see it. I love the new teams year over year that kind of squeak in. Love to see the rivalries that develop at these tournaments. So you might have the same. Today we had the Northeastern Assiniboine semifinal matchup was the rematch of the 2022 semifinal between those two teams. So yeah, love to see kind of the repeats and come back and what's going to happen. But seeing new faces is my favorite thing about being commissioner and kind of helping put on these tournaments. Something that we had talked about in a previous segment, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to mention it here. I think, you know, for myself, someone that has no team affiliation here at the national tournament, tell me about one of the incredible acts of sportsmanship with the buses, because I think it's cool. Yeah. And I was 6 years at Provincial Diesel in Montreal, so I mean, it kind of ties in, This story is one of my other favorite parts about being commissioner, is this kind of in-between go-to for the teams and the league and the tournament and each other. So yeah, I get a phone call Saturday morning. Dakota College says our bus won't start. Men's team's already trying to find another ride because they're sharing a bus. So they're trying to get over here to play in their last game. That means a lot. They're trying to decide if they're going to go on to the semifinals. So I get the opportunity to kind of run around the rink and, oh hey, Navy's on the ice. Their bus sitting in the parking lot. What might we be able to do? So yeah, Navy sent their bus to pick Dakota Bottineau up at their hotel so they could get on time to their game. And I believe the Sioux College Cougars sent their bus to send them home back at the end of the day so they could get back to their hotel. So just, the sportsmanship, there was no reason why anyone needed to do that. Right. They could have easily said, our competitors, in a tough spot, oh, that stinks, and look the other way. But yeah, I think women's C2 is a really special division in the ACHA, and I'll say it every chance I get. Those teams want women's hockey to grow, and they want each other to succeed, even at, sometimes at their own expense. So yeah, loved to see that story play out this week. You had the opportunity this morning. You had a seminar for high school hockey players to kind of inform and enlighten on the merits of ACHA. Just talk to me a little bit about that and the opportunity that you think. And I really think, I've been talking to a lot, it's incredible the amount of Canadians I've met. ACHA really fills a void not only in Canada, but in the United States for Canadian girls post-high school. Certainly, yeah. I think Canadian players aside, I'm from the New England area originally, and when I was coming out of high school, looking to go to college, there wasn't really anyone saying to me, you can play college hockey. And so to be in a position now where I have my eyes on all of these programs, and whether it's NCAA, whether it's ACHA, or the professional level now, which is just amazing for me to see, having come through the different divisions and the leagues, to say to high schoolers today, I want you to know that you can keep playing after high school, and it doesn't have to look like only that small pool of NCAA team spots. It can look like a national tournament in the ACHA. That brings me so much happiness. So to put on an event today at our national tournament for local high schoolers to just really get the word out there that the ACHA is here. It's an option. It doesn't have to be NCAA or bust. You can continue to come have this national stage, and at the college level means a lot to me, and I was really excited to help spread the word. And now I see all those high schoolers that came in today as advocates themselves, and to take that back to their teammates, take that back to their home teams, their club teams, and hopefully those players will kind of get the itch and be like, okay, I could go play ACHA. I don't have to, only play NCAA and have that really, really competitive high-level hockey. NCAA offers a great product. It's a great opportunity, but that level of commitment is not for every college student athlete. So I think that the ACHA is a really, really important thing to have, especially on the women's side. You are a very strong advocate for women's hockey, which is fantastic. If girls were interested, they weren't able to attend the seminar. Can you give any insight on how to navigate the website, the ACHA website, achahockey.org, and on how to navigate that to get more information about playing women's hockey in the United States or Canada through the ACHA? Yeah, of course. So ACHA website, you navigate to the different divisions. There's Women's D1, Women's D2. Love that we have all the team listings, so you can navigate to the season schedule, and there's a drop down of all the teams you might want to look at. There's also team standings, so you can see a whole list all on one page of women's D1 and women's D2. The other thing you can do is on the home page, there's a button with a map. So it's a really cool feature they added. They're constantly updating it. Has a map of all 5 divisions of the ACHA. You can turn them on and off, see just D1, D2, men's, women's, and that'll kind of show you geographically where you might want to start looking into to go to college, find a team. The other option is to email me directly. Contact information is on the ACHA website. Feel free to hit up me or the ACHA Women's D1 Commissioner, Molly Mahoney, and we would be happy to point you in any direction and be your resource.
In hearing you speak, your level of passion for not only women's hockey but women's ACHA hockey is very evident. Why do you think you have the level of conviction you do?
I think that it's just something that means a lot to me. Having been a player, I started a team. I've been in the shoes of a lot of the ACHA players, a lot of the coaches. I'm a coach now. So yeah, I really just have a lot of different perspectives and experience that I carry with me. And so to be able to collect more and more experiences and help bridge the gap between the experience of the players and the teams and what the ACHA product is trying to put on and grow and change is a really unique opportunity that I'm just really latching onto, and I'm really appreciative to have.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to look in the camera, and your husband came up to help out and volunteer.
He did.
So I want you to give him a big thanks, and then we'll wrap things up.
Yes. Thank you to my husband, Dylan. Love you. Great job. Also to my brother, Nick, who is here all week, busting his butt,
okay, good.
helping out. So yeah, thanks to everyone who stopped by for Women's D2 this week and across the ACHA. It's been a really great week.
Well, Taylor, I want to say thank you to you. You have been an incredible advocate, and as someone that's been around the ACHA since 2005, working with the league, it is fantastic. I love new faces here at the party. I also love pool play and not having it decided after the first or second day. So I think all things that we're on the same page about.
Thanks for asking.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Taylor Hadley, Women's Division II Commissioner, ACHA.